Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I decided to start going through one of the stamp books because, well, I think initially I said I wanted to do those last, but I decided that since I wanted to put the stamps that I'm getting from the bags into one of the books, I should at least go through one of these just to know what I have before I put stamps into it. And so this book is relatively empty. There's not a lot of stuff in it. I have the values and stuff written down for a few, the first 4 pages, I believe, that have stuff on them. I'm going to go through the first 3 pages because Great Britain has a lot of stuff, and I'll put that as a separate video. So I think the first one, well, first of all, let me show you that this says the Triumph stamp album with 10 maps. And since it has maps in it, I've been able to deduce the age of the book to be roughly between 1935 and 1940, since, well, there's some named countries, such as Iran, I think, which defines it as post-1935, and also World War II hasn't happened yet, so it's pre-1940. So yeah, there's a bunch of maps there. Also a lot of weirdly named countries, but that's to be expected from a stamp book. So let's go to the first page, which I think is Australia. Australian stamps are fairly valuable. We have a lot of the earlier ones. On this sheet, I have all of the stamps, except for these two, because these are stamps that I've found after the fact. So these weren't in the book originally. These are stuff that I've had in different bags. So let's toss these off to the side. Put those back in later. Anyways, for the Australian stamps, we have a set. Zoom in. We have one set with the kangaroo on the continent. Those are from 1913, and they're fairly valuable. I believe the 4th stamp, which is a 4 pence, is the most valuable at $22. These are catalog values, these are inflated, these are not the real values of the stamps. However, overall, Australia comes out to being worth $115 in the catalog. I think the other rarer stamp is this one with the bird on it. I think that's a kookaburra. It's a one-off stamp, so it's much harder to find, and it is also from 1914. Anyways, let's go to the next page, which happens to be Austria. This stamp here is also another stamp that I have found afterwards, and there's a lot of Austrian stamps. So let's zoom out here. Whoops, I should probably shift that up. So for the Austrian stamps, let's start going through them. The first 2 at the upper right are from wait, that's not right. They're from 1860 through 61, followed by the next row, which is from 1874 to 1884, as well as the row below it being from 1883. But the problem is that the 2 Kreuzer, I don't know how to pronounce it, but these 2 stamps are imperforated, and they're also the wrong color. Now, my personal hypothesis as to why this is that they're off of some sort of postcard where the postage is pre-printed, and then the person who put these into the book got them afterwards. However, there is no reference to these stamps existing online, so it's possible that they're counterfeit. I don't really know, but they're very interesting, those 2 stamps. So, let's put this back up here. Let's move on to the rest of them. You'll see, whoops, I'm filming this from a massive stack of books, so this may fall down. No, it's fine. Okay, so for this row, that is from, I think, also the late 1800s. I think everything on this page is from just a little bit before 1900. So that's the remainder of those stamps. I don't think there's anything else special in there. Yeah. And the most important thing about these is that there's a lot of variety in perforations on these stamps, so they are quite difficult to value. However, in general, these stamps are not worth that much. I think there were a lot printed. And neither of these. But we do have a pretty complete set of stamps here, which is nice to have. This is on top of another stamp. So from the top, there's just, let's see. I would say those are from, I think these are from 1900, and then these are from 1908, all the way up to here. Yeah, all the way up to here, sorry. This is a postage due stamp, as well as a couple others like this one. These two stamps, or actually these three, have a different design from the other stamps that I cannot pinpoint. I have absolutely no idea where they're from. I'm pretty sure it's Austria because that's what it says on the stamp itself. However, that design is not referenced anywhere online. So again, I may have to ask for your guys' help if you know anything about that stamp. These stamps, I believe, are all newspaper stamps, except for this one. This is another stamp that I cannot find. This is another postage due stamp. These four are newspaper stamps, and you'll see this says KUK Feldpost. That means that I think this is something to do with the military printing these stamps. It's not the normal government. And then finally one more, which is from the, 1917? I know I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, 1917. So overall, Austria came out to be 36.36 in catalog value. And next, let's go to the next section that has something in it. I think this is going to be something that starts with a B. British Honduras. There's one stamp here, one and only, and it's a 5 cent from the Victorian era. What is it? 1800 and, oh, I didn't even write it down. I think that's an 1896 edition. And then I think there's one on the next page as well. Yes, British Levant. This is a post office in Turkey. But so they had to print over the normal British stamp a different value, which is 40 paras or whatever that is. I also did not write down the age of this stamp. There's one more one-off stamp. That's the Cape of Good Hope over here. This one isn't bound to the book. I'm not totally sure why. But, yeah. It's from the Cape of Good Hope. I think it's from 1902. And let's move on to the next section. And, of course, here's the Gold Coast. Because there's just Gold Coast everywhere in the stamp collection. I really don't know who lived in the Gold Coast, but whoever it was, they sent a lot of letters. So I'm gonna quickly split this video, which is what I've just done, and now we can resume. So let's start going through the Gold Coast. First at the top, you'll see there's two Victorian stamps, or starting at the top right side. Stuff on the top left is actually older than the stuff on the bottom right, because I guess we just ran out of room. I don't know if there's another page here. No, there isn't. So, on the top, there's two stamps. The first one is between 1884 and 91. The second one is between 1998 and not 2002, 1902. And then the ones below it, that row is Edward VIII, I think. It's one of the Edwards. And those ones are between 1904 and 3. So it seems that I've run into an issue here with the sunlight. Let's see if I can shift the brightness a bit. There we go. Whoops. There you are. That's better. So we have Edward VIII here. That's from 1904 to 1908. And then below it, there's some stamps from 1908, I guess. And then this row is from 1913 to 21. There's also an interesting one here that's the war tax. It's from 1919. And then on the row below it, that's more It's more of the same years. It's a continuation with some duplicates. There was already the 1 shilling. There's 2 of those, and then 2.5 pence there. 3, 6. That's an extra. So those are just double stamps. And then below it you have, again, a little bit more modern. I think these are from 1921 through 25. And then you have a series from 1928. All the way up to the King George VI. And those are from 1940, no, not 1940. Those are from 1938 through 1946. And then you have a continuation of that series up on the top left here. This set here, I've already found a whole ton of those. There was basically a whole bag full of them. So this is just an example of each specimen. And below it you have stamps from 1937. It actually says when the coronation took place, which is the 12th of May, 1937. And then you also have one of the jubilees for King George V. It's the 25th anniversary. I think that's silver, but I'm not totally sure which one it is. So here's a lot of history in these stamps. And next time, I'm going to go over the British stamps. I think these deserve a video of their own because they're a lot more valuable than the stamps I've shown so far. And yeah, they're also a lot older. So overall, the values of everything I've shown you in this video comes out to $232.41. Catalog value, that's not very accurate. Take it down by a quarter of the price and you get to maybe $171. However, that's still a really good find, so I'm very happy with this. And I think there's not actually too many pages in the book that have stamps in them. However, next I'm going to be going through this book, which I still cannot find out the age. It might be from 1894, but this one is a lot fuller, and I think most of the stamps that are in the bags actually came out of this, because there's a lot of pages that seem to have something on them, and then it's been removed. So, anyways guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!